game, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, motherfuckers is vexed at this shit. Been there, done it, whipped it up again. Whoa.
Okay, let's jump right in it. So, the G6 summit was held in Hong Kong, right? So you know Hong Kong is the head of all trade of import and export of goods to Europe, to America, to Asia, Africa, etc. Pacific, Atlantic Ocean. Moving forward now, you got the European Union that had an agreement along with Russia and Ukraine to build an infrastructure to facilitate natural gas, right? Now, the reason why they're doing this is because there was a volcano that erupted in New Zealand that was giving off a strong amount of sulfur, right? So this sulfur we know is iron oxide. So the iron oxide, along with the fact that they depleted the Amazon's trees to the depletion of almost 20% left, they're basically trying to come up with an agreement to build the natural gas infrastructure pipeline from China all the way to the Black Sea and then insert it into Europe. Now, the fact that they moved so quickly with this agreement was basically because of the Queen's money and assets was starting to be depleted. So they came up with this strategy to go to war, fictitious war, because there's no way the country's at war and then 1 minute they're online rapping. You understand? So it's funny how they use this foolish rap, right, to per se lead on the public, because you know most people are low vibrational dense beings, right? So they accept this kind of music and intuitively, you know, they basically agree with what's going on. So the synopsis that came to me was basically that they're doing this to start this natural gas infrastructure, and it's really just to build underground bunkers. And we know that Ukraine has a lot of people that's very high with radiation, radioactive people, right? So I got a video coming up on atomic and radioactive issues. So now we have to look at the simple fact that we're still kind of in this calamity of this technology of the beings that are doing the germ warfare. This is not even our fight, but I still have to keep people updated about what's going on, so when they do see it, you know, they can actually act on it and not really pay attention to it. Now, what you need to understand is that Putin, right, is the head of the Galactical Federation, which is the Galactical Federation of Russia, right, which is one of the head Illuminati members, right? And Ukraine has a tie with Albania with the etymology. When you look at Albania in Greek, etymology, it's both the same thing. See, Ukraine has a flag already with the same colors of the European Union. So of course they're going to join NATO and the European Union, because the European Union collectively are going broke. You follow what I'm saying? This is what you need to know. So they've let everybody come outside once again, allow people to run around to regenerate this taxation money, at the same time put the COVID anthrax on the $20 bills, 20-pound notes, 20 euros, etc., right? So this is why most of me and my constituencies have a firm belief and strong, you know, indication that we are not supposed to use any type of paper money and try to stay away from banking with taxations. As a more, everyone's supposed to know this now, we have individuals that want to tarnish people's names and, drag them through the mud. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to keep to business now, because the master of the ceremony has returned to give you a conglomeracy of abundance of Hall of Amentees archivic outformations and output. So what I wanted to do is just break this down as fast as possible, because this is like my reaction to what's going on with this whole situation. And as we're going through this, we can see that this might turn into a serious war if the agreements does not stand. Now, they did a backdoor agreement with Putin, because Putin said, look, I don't mind to be the pit bull for the minute, because you guys are kind of like taking the back seat. There's no more terrorism. There's no more, there's no more oil for them to go get, because the oil is depleting. The ozone layer is burnt a hole inside the firmament, or the ozone layer, whatever you want to call it, the glass dome, right? And now the central sun is giving off a abundance of core, strong, 100% gigawatts of radiation. So you need to know this. Now, there's certain individuals that still on this meat diet. The meat itself is off. If you paid attention, you go outside, you go into these supermarkets, the meat smells off, the meat smells rotten. Stay off the meat, right? And stay off all of these canned goods with high sodium intake, right? At this specific time. Now, sooner or later, they're gonna have to start letting us depart back to our lands so they can recultivate and try to build a bridge. Now, I disagree with us doing any type of business with these people until we see that they are upright. Right now, they're not upright, because most of them is still into this taxation thing. They're still into making money off of commerce. They're still doing what they do best, right? Which is, chaos. They're not out of control. Comes to controlment. So I want you to know is keep an eye on your finances. Keep an eye on what you're doing per se, on the fact of signing any agreements with these government true bodies. If you're working, if you're, whatever you're doing, be very mindful, because they're pushing all the prices up because they're going broke. China owns half of the world, and China wants to take over most of the European infrastructures versus them moving into True light, true light.